Ganghwa has had many thousands of years of habitation, and starting probably around 2000 BC, the appearance of these dolmens, and they're scattered all over the island, mainly in the north. And my mission today is to find the actual connecting pathways between the dolmen sites, because I think that will give a clue to what mainly in the south of the island. I'm walking along a very interesting little trail now. Truth is, I kind of lost. I'm just hoping this trail will take me out onto the main road so I can get my bearings. But it is, well, it looks like a pretty old trail to me, and it could be one of the original ones that's marked on my survey map. So we'll see where it goes. Well, I didn't get lost. And you'll see behind me there's a rather distinctive mountain, and to the right of that at the base there should be a dolmen group, so I'll check that out now. Okay, this is the lone Jomdol Goindol, or the Jomdol Dolmen. Quite an impressive little thing. Maybe there were others in this area. It's long since been robbed out, but this one's quite worth a walk. So I'll check out some more further down the track soon. Okay, so this dolmen is sited much like 2 to 3 other dolmen sites that I've been to. It's on a low spur overlooking flat farmland. The rice culture was introduced probably as early as 2000 BC, the permanent settlement here. And these dolmens were tombs of the leaders, shows a strong social stratification starting to appear on the peninsula. Originally these tombs would be blocked at either end, and the remains, maybe grave goods, were buried inside, long since robbed out. Anyway, I'll continue on to the next batch. Okay, we've got tombs here of a more recent era, and these are common all over Korea. You have clan tombs, family tombs, located on the sides of hills overlooking the farmland of the village where they used to live. And this is extremely similar to the dolmen situation. So whether it's a continuity of heritage, culture, I'm not sure, I guess it is. It looks the same as if you were sighting the dolmen in this location. These little tombs here are only a couple of 100 meters from that dolmen site that we saw just then. Well, this dolmen group was a little harder to get to. It's up a mountain valley, fairly high altitude, and there's quite a group of them here. I'm not sure what this signifies, because they're not looking out over any sort of flat terrain. Maybe there was some sort of mountain dwelling people at that time. Who knows? I don't. Well, after a bit of a steep climb from that earlier group, there's a whole heap more right on top of the ridge here, and there's even more further in the woods, which I'll go to, and quite an interesting group over here, which I'll go and have a look at right now. Actually, this one's a good example of how it was constructed. You can see the top is either fallen off, was pushed off by grave robbers, but you can see one of the end stones that used to block the either end of the uprights. Also, it's of interest here that you've got more recent tombs, much more recent, alongside the dolmen. So, you know, if you're talking about cultural continuity, that's pretty good evidence. You know, it seems like if you want to see any site in Korea, you have to climb a bloody mountain or walk up frickin' stairs, or both. Christ almighty. Okay, well, I've pressed on from those last dolmens, that last dolmen group, and went up, of course, up a mountain, Koryo-san, and I'm just over the ridge now, coming down, and I'm going to go to the next dolmen group, which is the Jochonli dolmen group. But as I was coming over the ridge, I haven't seen anybody. It's completely quiet, and I startled off a couple of deer, and that made me think that Well, perhaps the people who were buried at the top of the mountain were part of the broader community and were hunting clans, and that would account for them being buried in the mountains where they were doing the hunting. They were obviously coexisting. You had the rice farmers down below and you had your hunters throughout the mountains. That's my theory and I'm sticking to it. Okay, well, here we are at the next dolmen group site, and there's a significant number here. There's at least a dozen, all scattered through the ground. Some of the rocks are like embedded in there, and yes, I think this will be the last group I do today. There is another group of dolmens further down, but I'm just about buggered, and the word beer keeps coming to mind, so I'll probably bail out after this. Well, I came across the last group in any case. It's on the way down towards my frosty cold beer, wherever that is. And I'll just give this a once over and then that's it. I'm gone. Bye for now. 7.5 hours of walking. Just what I need. Cheers. Ganghwa has a long history and has been settled for many thousands of years, and some of the signs for that are the Dolmen sites around. Oh, fuck me, Jesus, I must start again. Well, this is about the third Dolmen site that I've visited, and each of them so far has been on like a small rise overlooking a very flat area. These were tombs of important people at that time, showing signs of social stratification, and all of these sites have been listed by UNESCO as World Cultural Heritage Sites, and it's no wonder these sites are extremely impressive, and I don't know what I'm talking about. Okay, as with 2 or 3 other sites that I've been to for dolmen sites, they're some situated on a low rise below a mountain, like a low spur, overlooking a flat land. They were probably very important people in the society, leaders, and were buried to overlook the descendants. And these dolmen sites are all UNESCO World Heritage listed, and I think the whole of Ganghwa, shit, fuck me. Okay, so the way this dolmen is sited, it's overlooking a flat farmland area, and it's located on a spur from one of the mountains, and it's similar to 2 or 3 other dolmen sites that I've been to in this regard. They were tombs of obviously important leaders and fucking roadworks. Jesus. Okay, as with 2 or 3 other dolmen sites that I've been to, this is located on a very low spur from one of the mountain ranges and overlooks a flat farming area. And like I said, this was settled, probably around 2000 BC with the introduction of rice culture to the peninsula. And these dolmens were actually tombs of rather important people, and so that they could look out over their descendants. And they're all UNESCO World Cultural Heritage listed, and originally they would be closed in with stones at each end, and the tomb, it's, oh fuck, Jesus Christ. Okay, so I lied. This group happened to be on the way down, so it's, fuck.